Okay, so today, let me just close all my other windows. Okay, today we will do a deep dive into this amazing piano plugin from Arturia, and especially all the cool stuff that's happening under the hood. If you open all these advanced parameters, it's really amazing what type of sounds you can create with this piano. It goes well beyond the traditional sort of piano sounds, and you can really hear it in those presets too. That it's sort of based on a piano sound, but it's just very creative and very the sound design is actually pushed ahead, and it's really dope what it can do. So it has some grand pianos upright. Those are more, some of them are more of a traditional piano sound, like the because my sustain here. It's sort of a classic traditional piano sound. Should I also mention that with Arturia plugins you get this really cool browser for the different presets, so you can browse them by type, style. The bank is gonna be just the factory bank, but with the styles there is all this like genres and other cool tags for these sounds and parameters. For the types, that's okay, so that's going to be just the creative, grand, upright, and plucked keys. So it's kind of seems like the styles would be more useful in this case, because like obviously all of these are piano sounds. But like let's see, like the 60s, there's 6 sounds that are in the genre of this 60s. So let's see what's that. Okay, that's cool. See the other ones. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, this is dope. Lo-fi. I want to see what kind of effects are on this, because that seems pretty cool. Okay, so the filter is pretty aggressive here. Some reverb, some compression. What's happening with the model here? Mono mic'd with in the mono setup. I wonder what the same sound. I wonder what it's going to sound like with a pop. So just it is wider and has more. Have some more ambient as well. Let's explore some more presets too, though. Let's see, like maybe some other Psy trance. Okay, let's see what's that. That's interesting. Okay, plucked grunt. Yeah, that's cool. Nice. That's great. Yeah, let's see what else. Let's see what else is there. Techno. What's for techno? Oh, the same, the same sound. Okay. But yeah, let's see like modern. Let's see what kind of sounds are here. Nice. Classic, classic, great sounding piano. Let's see what else. Let's see the savory. Butter. What is butter? Ah, cool. Black Forest. What is that? Oh, oh, cool reverb. I want to see what type of effects are on this one actually. So we have. Okay, that's what's happening here. Lid is closed. Okay, I wonder what's it like with the open lid. Yeah, the closed one. That's. Oh. What did I do? What did I do? Wait, go back. Black Forest. Yeah. And now. Oh, this reverb. Probably that's. It's a nice reverb. It's a very cool sounding reverb. Some more harmonics, maybe less highs, and even more of the. Very cool sound. I should also mention that those macros here are really nice to shape the sound a little bit more, or quite a lot more, without going into the like advanced all these panels over here. We can shape a lot of the sound with those macros. They're really like thought through really well. So check this out, like the timbre, however you pronounce this, timbre. It will, yeah. What does it do with this sound? I think what it does here is it's changing the age of, yeah, exactly. And you can see it's the same macros over here on this panel. So the timbre, whatever. Fuck, I have to look it up how to say it. So it seems like it's altering the age. Is it changing anything else here? It's okay, so that's basically mapped to the age. The brightness. Okay, so brightness is the hammer hardness. And anything else here, because sometimes it could have multiple. And let's bring the brightness up. Okay. Okay, so that's the brightness. Dynamics. Oh, dynamics is the action. How much? Okay, so the description always shows up here when I hover with my mouse over the control. So dynamics set how much the notes will change in volume in response to key velocity. Okay, so basically no dynamics is like the same. Yeah, it's basically like the same volume whether I play soft or hard. Like the tone changes, so that's soft, and that's hard. So like the actual sound changes, but like not the volume. And I can have up to 80 decibels of dynamic range. So 80 decibels is going to be, it's a lot of dynamic range. 80 decibels it's a huge dynamic range. But let's keep it at like. Okay, and then stereo width. So it's this mic's microphones section here. How wide are they in the stereo? So basically how wide versus how mono. And wide is going to have just more stuff on the sides and less in the center. Yeah, so definitely on the headphones, if you're listening on nice speakers, if you're listening on nice speakers or headphones, that's yeah, changing the sound quite a lot. Yeah, those macros here are really useful. Then the reverb, oh, that's another cool. Okay, so it's dry, wet, and volume. It's just volume limiter, just to make sure that the output isn't clipping in the Ableton. Can have the limiter on. I don't think it's doing that much, unless maybe I really crank up the volume all the way. Maybe that's limiting at this point, but okay. So let's actually look into those different modules over here and how they alter the sound, how they shape the sound. So let's go to some more sort of a classic. Okay, that's like a pretty classic piano sound. So this part here, the action, sorry, I have a little bit of a cold. The hammer hardness. Okay, so first of all, you get to this advanced panel over here. There's the advanced panel, and then you have the effects and the model. So the model is basically controlling the actual algorithm that creates this piano sound, because everything in this plugin is created algorithmically. So it's not a sampled piano, but it's just created from an algorithm creates the sound, like in a synthesizer. And then the effects, it's EQ, compression, some saturation, and reverb. So the effects is basically the same. If I would have some more plugins after the Piano V, I would have my own EQ, my own compression, my own reverb, etc. But it's just built in here, and I can control it with the macros too. Like the reverb, I can control with this macro, and it just lets me shape the sound inside the plugin right away. So let's go to the model, because that's kind of like the more unique thing about this plugin. What exactly is happening with this algorithm that creates this piano sound? So like, again, it's like not a sampled piano. It's not like playing back a sample that's pre-recorded. All of that stuff is created by the computer as I play the notes. So that's pretty impressive, because it sounds really good. It sounds really realistic and piano-like. So it's very impressive that it's all created algorithmically. Hammer hardness. How bright it is, how soft it is. In between, one of the like most useful controls in this whole panel, in my opinion, is the hammer hardness. Really cool how you can shape the sound with that. Hammer position. So that's basically if you have a string on the piano where the hammer is hitting, and it's going to change the sound as well. It's like on a guitar, if you play and you hit the strings with the pick in different positions, it will change the sound. So that's basically what this hammer position is doing. Dynamics. So that's sort of like a compressor, but it's just built into this algorithm. So it controls how loud the notes are in relationship to how hard I press the keys on the keyboard. So if I have the dynamic set to the lowest value, 1 decibel, if I play soft, the sound is kind of warmer and softer, but the actual volume, whether I play hard or soft, is pretty much the same. And if on the other hand I turn it all the way up, that's a huge dynamic range. So that's definitely useful if you're playing classical music or something that has a lot of dynamics and you want to really make sure that those dynamics that you play on the keyboard are represented by the plugin. So that's the dynamics here. Release time. What does it say here? Set how long it takes for the dampers to mute the strings. Okay, so once you... So that's a long release time. So it's basically how long does it take for those dampers to mute the string. If it's set to 0, it kind of sounds very like electronic, right? It's like a hard cut. Doesn't sound very natural like a piano, but like if I have it halfway up, it's kind of too long actually. So it's like... That's kind of like a natural piano sound. Then the strings. So the strings will control... this section controls a lot about the tuning and the... Okay, so that's the actual tuning, like in hertz. So the 440 is the standard tuning. So we'll just keep it at that. It's kind of cool that you can change it to like, okay, like... That's cool. It's cool that they give you these controls here inside the plugin. Tuning stretch tuning. So that's like the different, like the high notes and low notes will have different it's interesting. So like it does sound pretty cool actually when the stretch tuning is a little bit higher. So I'm reading the description. It sets how much higher notes will be progressively tuned sharper. So basically the high notes are higher the more I stretch the tuning higher. Yeah, it's cool. It does sound cool. Unison the tune. So when you have multiple strings, they will have slightly different. It's cool, yeah. It sounds like a chorus effect, but like a little bit different because it's obviously inside the plugin. Probably I would keep it rather low on most piano sounds. You know, it might be interesting if I put the hammer hardness lower and turn on the unison the tune. It's a cool sound. But let's go back to that. And then the age is another really cool control on this instrument, the age of strings. Amazing, right? It's kind of like detuned, but at the same time kind of just like old strings sounding. For most sounds I would probably keep it like rather low as well, or maybe even at 0. But it's a cool control to play with. Alright, now we have the lid position. That's the acoustics module here. A lid position, like how open or close the lid is on the piano. The soundboard resonance, so how much of the resonance from the wood in the in the piano, in the soundboard. Amazing, like if it's set to 0, it's not resonating at all, it's just not sounding a lot. But that's like exaggerated. I love in this plugin the possibilities that you can exaggerate either like too low or too high. And sort of like in the middle is like a classic piano sound, but like with the soundboard resonance, if you turn it like too low, it sounds like a sound that it's like based on a piano sound, but like it's not how a piano would sound, actual piano. And the same like if you turn it up, it's like so resonant. The possibilities on this sympathetic resonance. So there's a string is resonating, and then the strings that are an octave higher or octave lower or a fifth higher, etc., they will also resonate a little bit on a actual piano. So that's what this control is modeling here. Yeah, turning it up makes it sound more like a actual piano would sound, because that this sympathetic resonance it would happen on the piano. And then like if I turn it down, it sounds kind of sterile, and like it sounds like a sampled piano at this point, like if I have it all the way down. But like if I turn it up, we're just used to hearing this resonance, like the sympathetic resonance, as a part of a piano sound, so it sounds natural if it's turned up. Duplex scale resonance, what is this? It says the weight on the duplex. Okay, I'm not sure what does it mean. Okay, it does change the sound. I don't know. Sounds more natural, kind of like in the center. Okay, and then the noises. So that's a really cool module as well, to exaggerate some of those noises. Sometimes if you exaggerate them, it just sounds like you're inside the piano, like you're just super close to the sound. So that's why it's this module might be cool to play with. So the hammer, how hard the hammer is hitting the string. So if I exaggerate it, yeah, I can hear the hammer more. If I lower the soundboard resonance here, that might be interesting, and the hammer all the way up, the hammer noise all the way up, and soundboard resonance all the way down. It's like very percussive. And the other way. Yeah, it's cool. Then the key release. So after I release the keys, the hammers and the whole mechanism in the piano makes a sound. So that's what this one models. Yeah. Yeah, definitely more realistic with the key release set to something like higher than completely off. Yeah. And the sustain pedal. Does it make a sound? Okay, yeah, it does. It's pretty soft, but yeah. Very cool. Yeah, very nice. Then we have the microphones. So it models basically how the microphones would capture the sound of the piano. And there is 4 settings here, 4 main settings: classical, home, pop, and mono. So let's see the classical. It has the stereo width, which is basically how much of the left and right wide signal is there coming in. Yeah, you can definitely hear it, the stereo width on the headphones. And then the ambient microphones, so that's kind of like room microphones that you would have close microphones just next to the strings, next to the piano, and then you would have ambient microphones or room microphones in the room capturing the ambience and the room sound, so they would be further away from the piano, so you can hear the space more with this. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Then home. Let's see what's home setup. So again, same settings, stereo with an ambient mics. Yeah, that's cool too. Pop. Let's see pop. How is pop different than? It might be like different microphone models, maybe like the classical models, some different microphones than pop. But let's see also mono. So stereo wave is disabled in the mono setting, and only the ambient. Yeah, that's very cool. So it adds this room ambience, but it's still in mono. Yeah, mono is an interesting sound because we're just at this point very used to hearing stuff in stereo, and you hear something in the mono, it just has a unique sound to it. For the most part, I would probably stick with the pop or classical, unless I'm looking for a very specific sound. Okay. So that was kind of a deep dive into those different parameters, the advanced parameters of this amazing plugin, Piano version 3 by Arturia. Then there is the effects, which I won't have time, unfortunately, to go through right now, but basically what it is the EQ. So EQ as an EQ, it has bass, mid, high, standard controls. What is curve? That's kind of cool. It's kind of like a resonance. Oh, that's nice. And the width for that. Compressor, which is also pretty classic controls. Preamp. This is actually really cool in this plugin. The harmonics, you can add harmonics and it doesn't affect the volume. So the volume compensation is really cool with this parameter here. And then the overdrive gain. Yeah, similar. It's changing how much overdrive there is, but without manipulating the actual volume. So that's really cool that you can retain this sort of like objectivity, because if it would be making it louder, like you would always think it's better when it's louder. So it's a nice thing that you turn it up and the volume stays the same. And for the reverb, there's a couple of those algorithms here, and I have played with them before and love them. They are really cool. I love the spring on this one. Really cool. Amazing reverb, spring reverb. There was also a large plate, small factory hall. Yeah, the factory hall is a really cool sound. It's really metallic and like a huge space. Yeah, I love the sound. Let's have more of the what? Cool sound, really nice and bright and metallic. Very cool reverb. The factory hall. Okay, I will have to get going right now, but that was cool to have like an in-depth look inside this amazing plugin. All right, take care, everyone.